And, well, if you're here, you already know. That's twice in a row I've gotten that to happen. The music fades out right as soon as the howdy basically goes away. What's going on, Martin? God, you're up, well, you're up. I've only been up since, 4:30. 2 cups of coffee in, 3 loads of laundry. Boredom setting in. What am I supposed to tell you? Stopped doing church a while back. Mostly because they hated me asking questions. But it's in there somewhere to question everything. And I kind of grew up in church, so it was a little bit difficult for them to hear those questions coming from me, because it was like, I'd ask questions like, how in the world did God mark people so that other people knew that they were the offspring of this or that sinner that was basically considered, oh my God, no. Cain and his relatives were marked that way. And then one of Noah's sons was marked as well. So how were they marked? Questions are always good. Yes, I agree with you, but you ask the wrong questions of the wrong people and they stop wanting you to be there entirely. No big deal. I don't disagree with somebody else's choice to go to church. I just have, for the longest time, decided that it wasn't for me. So howdy, we've got a few people in. Y'all are allowed to say hi. It doesn't have to just be Martin and me chatting. I saw 3 people in for a second. Got all these little birds out here screeching and squawking. Well, Martin, there is that statement. It's just, it's one of those that the church doesn't want to actually discuss. No big deal. It's just a question. I'm not trying to point out any fallacies with the church. For some people, it's the right thing. And for me, it wasn't. Martin, I think you're right. I think it's more of a spiritual mark where it's between them and God. But like I said, the church does not like those kind of questions. There is that, Martin, there is that. I know in friendly, polite conversations, we're not supposed to talk religion or politics. Those 2 things get more people upset than anything else on the planet. Me, I just don't get upset. Not by those, anyways. I might get upset with politicians. That's a different story. That's being upset with a person. Of course, I get upset with people that decide they're going to lie to me. So I pretty much stay upset with politicians. You know how to tell if a politician's lying? Their lips are moving. See, Bart, that's cool. They could have just said, hey, I don't know. Let's look it up. But no, they started doing that. Yeah, we're pretty much not for you being here. Howdy, Odie. Great to have you on board today. The biggest chicken dance. Yeah, Martin couldn't handle a real Oktoberfest. He'd be the guy drooling on the table by lunchtime. Katrine, on the other hand, would probably put us all to shame, or at least under the table. I've known a few Germans, and trying to keep up with them while drinking is mighty difficult. I'm not letting you in. Nope, you're out. Sorry, Trump, you're staying out. He'll get mad at me and bite me here in a little bit. Won't you, little scruffy? Come on, is it that Germans love their chicken dance, or is it that they do the chicken dance to a form of polka, or is it just a conglomeration of the two, or is it that you have to actually be drinking enough for it to be entertaining? All three of them seem to say that the Germans that I know would love the chicken dance, but that's just one of those things. They love the chicken dance. My cats love chicken. Does that count? Well, if I was a betting man, I made predictions on 12 games yesterday. I would have lost on 2. Right at noon my time, I should be able to watch the Raiders play in some sort of a football game. Of course, it's against the Steelers. I just don't know about that game. I got a feeling the Raiders might actually pull it off. Damn it, Odie. Beer foam comes out if you sneeze. That's called being full. Or just plain full of it. Not sure which. Truthfully, though, food at Oktoberfest is the worst food. That would be worst as in, well, it'll pop up here in a second. Worst. Bratwurst, Knockwurst, Liverwurst. It's the worst food. And beer, when it's being brewed, what's left over after they've poured it into whatever vessel it's going into from the brew vats, there's a product left over that's called wurst. True statement. I've been to the Budweiser brewery. It's right up the road. vats of beer so big you could swim in it easily. And I mean really swim. Not just like splash around, it's all kind of fun. No, I mean like swim because you have to swim. Great. Now my youngest cat is about to try and pounce my oldest cat. Get ready. This is going to be nice and cat fightish. Between that and the cicadas, I'm going to have a loud morning. I can feel it already. You tell him, Toby. Trump is getting into Toby's face, and he's doing that younger brother, I'm not touching you thing. I'm not touching you. Any of y'all with siblings, y'all know that. Y'all know how that works. I'm not touching you. Get so close that they actually are touching you, but they still scream, I'm not touching you. Oh, good Lord. What's he competing in this time? Is it the Nathan's Hot Dog Challenge? I wouldn't be surprised if it's Nathan's. I don't know how in the hell he actually eats as much as he does. Like 81 hot dogs, I think, is his record. Maybe it's more than that. He one time put down a gallon of milk in less than a minute. A gallon of milk. Think about that. Hell, drink a quart of milk and see how full you are. And then imagine chugging down 4 times that amount and doing it in less than 60 seconds. I think there's a point of no return. You get up to a certain peak level and then it tapers off. Now, back in like high school and through my army days, oh my God, I couldn't afford to eat at any place that didn't say all you could eat. Back then, Waffle House had a all-you-could-eat menu. I could literally sit there for 24 hours and just destroy food. Now I'm so much happier. I actually eat to taste, and I eat because I'm slightly hungry and I would like something to eat. Back then I ate just to try and make sure that my metabolism wouldn't kill me. I wouldn't even want to eat like Joey Chestnut does now. That just doesn't seem healthy to me. But I mean, hey, he gets paid to do it, so whatever. Odie, I get that same feeling all the time. Unfortunately, around here, there's always something to be fixing or working on. So there's always too much stuff to do and only one person to do it. I'm willing to bet Martin understands that. I know Odie understands it. Howdy, Steph. Are you up early before all the rest of them, or are you up with Skip, or is this just one of those things where you're thinking morning coffee and maybe a smoke before the day starts? I mean, Steph and I are so much into the same time zone that she understands. It's well, the sun's just up, barely. Steph, I'm already past coffee time. It's water time now. Yes, definitely for all of us. Let Skip know that, hey, we're thinking about him too. 6 people in. Good Lord, y'all are gluttons for punishment. Howdy, Mike. Oh my God, Mike's up. Shoot, it's like 5-something o'clock in the morning there, Mike. Good Lord. Couldn't sleep or just decided it was time to be up? Hopefully you're having a good cup of coffee, sir. I guess Mike and I are on pretty much the same schedule today. Well, I definitely got the wicked part down over here, Mike. I definitely got that part down. I think my eyes actually opened up the first time right about 4 o'clock this morning, and I just kind of tried to close them back and said, and then they wouldn't stay closed, so I said, screw it, time to get up and just do stuff. Luckily, I was able to knock out all my indoor quiet chores while everybody's sleeping. I say quiet chores. You know, you don't run the vacuum at 4 o'clock in the morning. Hats to finish, that's right. Steph's making hats. For those that have already pre-ordered. For those who have not ordered already, you're out of luck. She says you're out of luck. Not my fault. Ooh, cranberry preserves and a pasta sauce to can. Goodness gracious. Oh, hey, in case anybody is wondering, I made a third video yesterday. because I came outside, went to sit down and smoke. I already had my bowl packed, everything ready to go, and there was a box on my chair. So if you're looking for that, it'll be under special delivery, short video. Real nice delivery though. I'm telling you, it's crazy. That James Stumbo guy is just like, he was showing me some love, and man, I felt like a Disney princess. All right, not quite a Disney princess. Maybe a DreamWorks princess? Didn't Shrek marry a DreamWorks princess? Yesterday was pepper sauce and pickles. Man. What kind of pickles there, sir? I mean, is it dill pickles or sweet pickles or somewhere in between? I eat a stack of pickles on a regular basis. Oh, it's definitely better than store-bought. Don't get me wrong. See, now, Mike, I don't do the bread and butter ones. I can't get into sweet or even slightly sweet pickles. But you get a good spicy garlic dill type of a brine going, and man, you're lucky if you can see me without me like grabbing every one of them that you own. But yeah, my peppers, they grow like crazy because my mother-in-law does it. She's ridiculous good at getting stuff to grow. What part made them very spicy there, Mike? I'm just wondering, because I've used all kinds of different peppers in pickles, and depending upon which ones I use, they get really good. Thai chilies. Alright, I'm gonna have to let these cats in before they start squalling. Just a second. Go ahead, Toby. Come on. No? Alright. We'll let the trunk go first. I don't separate them out, though. Just be over here howling at each other. Then they'll start fighting, and then I'm going to have to reach in there and grab them and yank them apart physically. Good way to get clawed up. Right, yeah, cucumbers and tomatoes. Yeah, my mother-in-law gets those going, and peppers every year. Every year. Yeah, most of my tomato plants are now dead. It's either too much rain or too little rain or too much heat. the heat kills them off quick, at least in this area. But she plants at the right time, and then she goes out and fiddles with them and picks, I don't know, we probably get 5 or 6 bushels worth of produce off of very little space that we're using. I can understand that, Mike. I definitely understand that. June 22nd. Steely Dan. The Eagles paid homage to Steely Dan with one line in one song. Do you know what that line is? Yes, Toby, you're special. I've been to so many concerts, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. Oh, what is the line? We stabbed it with our steely knives. Oh, I don't think I could go to Hillary Duff. Last concert I went to was with my son. Went to Megadeth. Here they are 5 years later, back on tour. Yay! Steph would know, though. Well, let's see. I believe, Mike, that Peter Townsend was involved with your ears hurting. That's if I had to guess. Back when I was an electrician. Lord, this cat. Now he wants in. Fine, go in. Well, I'm just saying, weren't they listed as the loudest band ever? It was just a guess. Oh, goodness. Well, I guess while everybody's up. Bowl call. Don't worry if y'all ain't smoking. You're not smoking. It's no big deal. I'm smoking a Country Gentleman with Voodoo Queen. I thought about opening Stumbo's Num Nums, but I'm holding off on that. Some leftover Virginias in a Castello Blonde Canadian. Oh wait, Old Sea Rock Canadian, sorry. Good morning, Scott. C&D exclusive in a Cobb. That does sound like a good morning. The one real good thing about getting out here early in the morning is the cicadas do not tend to be as obnoxious as they are later in the afternoon. Ooh, the 50% Perique thing, that's right up my alley. It's weird, I like Perique, but I'm not a big fan of Burley. Burley will make me have hiccups. Perique, for me, is just smooth and relaxing. The strange part is that they're technically the same plant. Oh, that's very good. Very good to hear. Oh, and hey, before I forget, smaller channel that we should all be following along by now because people are making VRs for his 100 sub GAW is You're Doing It Wrong. Or Doing It Wrong. Doing It Wrong, that's right. Well, if he's doing well enough to replace a water heater, he's not doing too bad then. It's not as if you can just muscle a water heater in and out of the spaces that are allowed for them without having a little bit of strength back. Oh yeah, Scott. I heard about him yesterday, more or less, and I watched through his videos. Seems like a real nice guy. Yeah, Mike. If you're down with a flu or COVID or anything like flu or COVID, you're trying to work on a water heater. Yeah, just don't. It'll take more out of you than you think it will. Not exactly that they're super heavy. If you know what you're doing and you do everything right, But the amount of work, getting everything done just right. If it's electric, you got to get in and make sure that you do the right breakers. If it's gas, you got to make sure to get down there and make your gas connections. All the stuff that goes into it it's labor intensive. I've done a few. I don't want to have to do any more. It's one of those things. Oh, goodness. I'm going to have a good day. Whether anybody else is or not, I'm going to have a good day. Oh, Mike's saying it too. It's time to get busy. I know how that feels, Mike. I definitely know how that feels. You take care and don't cook too much. Hard to can everything if you've used up all your jars. And then storing tobacco if you don't have any leftover jars. That's kind of a pain too. Well, in my experience anyways. Sun's coming up. Yay! Might catch some vitamin D in this old body of mine. And yes, you can tell I am facing mostly east. So Steph's going to be working on hats. Mike's doing some canning. Scott, you're up early. Odie's up early. Of course, Odie sounds like he's intending to hit that Oktoberfest in Ohio pretty hard. Though having an Oktoberfest in September seems just a little strange to me. Any day now, if the Houston Air Show is going to happen, I'm going to start getting flybys by all the old World War II stuff. Yeah, if you're going to Walmart, get that shit done early. Fewer people that are there, the better. No matter where I tend to go to a Walmart, if I'm going down an aisle, I'll get to one side or the other of the aisle, and almost always I get somewhere near the middle, and one of those gotta be right in the center of the lane people will be cruising in on one side, and I'll look back over my shoulder and there's another one right there on the other end. That was always my plan too, Scott. That was always my plan. I one time literally had to yell at people in Walmart to get the fuck out of my way because they got to the point where they were right in front of me and then they were looking like, how come I'm not moving? And they see that there's a person behind me and a person in front of me, and both the person in front and behind are right in the middle, and I can't get past either one of them. It's like, good God. If you're adult enough to drive a car here, you should be adult enough to know that you can't drive down the middle of the lane and fully expect it to be okay for forever. Those aisles are two-way streets. Pick a side, stick with it. I don't know if it makes me lose faith in humanity. It makes me gain faith in human stupidity, though. It's just one of those things. That is true, Odie. Oktoberfest, the real Oktoberfest in Germany, is late September into October. Why can't they call it Septemberfest? I mean, most of it's in September. Way back in the day, it used to be called Harvest Fest. See, in Houston, they wait until late October because they don't want it to have the warmer weather. They want to wait until it cools off a little bit. You get that first part of October, it still might be 90-something degrees. Helen has a big one. That's what she said. Actually, it wasn't she, it was Scott. Scott, do you hang with Martin every once in a while at those Oktoberfests? Oh, the Tomball Oktoberfest? That's pretty good, yeah. We've also got Renfest, which should be gearing up if it's even going to happen this year. Renaissance Festival. Every weekend for like 2 months. Okay, I'm going to mess that one up, but it's Huva Huamenta Boris. Good to see you, sir. How is Finland this morning? Nice and cool, probably, compared to me. Yeah, Scott, I can't drink as much because, well, I got old. I don't recover as fast. Lord knows I don't much care for the hangover. When I was in my 20s, I could have a hangover for about long enough to sneeze, and then it was gone. Now it seems to last all day. Yeah, I'm not too much into that kind of drinking anymore. Odie, I hear you. If they're gonna say, look, free large beer if I work a beer truck for a couple of hours, yeah, they're gonna be worried about how many people I'm running over to get to the front of the line. Just one of those things. Goodness gracious. Boris is wearing a flannel shirt, and the only thing I did for the cooler weather was wear some fuzzy house shoes. "48 degrees, I'd be wearing every stitch of clothing I could. But Boris knows this. Cooler weather. Not really all that cold. It's just not as hot as it was in August. August, I could be sitting out at this time of morning and have a full rolling sweat going. Doing nothing, just sitting there. With my bad knee, I'm never going to be able to really handle cold weather all that well. Not my fault. Is my problem. Oh yeah, Scott. Florida, Houston, pretty much the same. You can't get cold enough except for like 3 days of the year. Oh, Boris is trolling for the ladies. He's got his shirt unbuttoned. Probably got himself a wife beater on, you know. That way he can say all the women are here for the gun show. Boris is just all kind of cool, though. So, I mean, what am I supposed to say? I hope I'm that cool when I get to Boris's age. I've given up hoping that I'd ever have that beard. That's not happening. It takes me 9 months to grow something that even looks close to being a beard. Steph, I never dream about zombies. Never. Never ever. Yeah, Clint's looking older than dirt. I don't think there's going to be too many more years where Clint's going to be alive. Just remember, Father Time, he's undefeated. He's gotten everybody who's ever lived. No, Steph, I've never dreamt about flying. I have dreamt about falling. Of course, I spent a good chunk of my military career falling out the ass end of airplanes. I don't know. He's somewhere between 70 and 90, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if he's 80 yet, but I mean, he's got to be in that range. Clint's 91? Holy cow. He might make it to 100. If so, we can blame it on those cigars he hated smoking in those spaghetti westerns. Well, I can't Google it while I'm talking on this phone. Y'all want me to end my live stream so I can Google how old Clint Eastwood is? Okay. Not my fault. Yeah, if he's 90, I guess he's doing all right. Could be worse. There's a lot of people out there that never make it even close to 90. Betty White's still alive. Scott, I'm not even going to worry about living that long. It ain't going to happen. I sleep just fine, Steph. There is no zombie stupid enough to even want to try and come up into this Fort Knox and come after my brains. Sure, they're looking for that buffet, but they are not looking for a buffet that's going to fight back that hard. Well, Scott, the women in my family, they live for damn near forever. 3 of them made it to 100 that I know of. The men all tend to get to about 65, 66, and then flatline. My dad's doing all right. He made it to 70 plus already. Which worries me. Makes me wonder if I'm going to live that long. Damn it. Right? Yeah, George Burns famously said his doctors kept telling him that those cigars would kill him, and he buried 3 doctors before it ever happened to him. '95, it's still kicking. That's impressive. I will say that I smoked a cigar with Mr. Overton one time before he died. I have a hard time remembering his first name, but I remember his last name was Overton. And if you're asking, yes, we enjoyed some bourbon with that cigar. there were a few that lived. Few of the men in the family lived for quite a while. But if I go with the extended family, I mean, there were so many outlaws, they just ended up dead because of lead poisoning. High velocity lead poisoning. Or a rope. I'd have to stop being ornery to last any longer. I don't see that happening. Gotta go to Hellmart. Alright, Scott. Well, don't worry, because I'm about to be off of here anyway. My pipe's pretty much out, and I'm just in that section. Steph, I think I'm going to live long enough to see grandkids. I only got to make it through next month. Alright, so y'all remember Steve and Kathy will be on later today. As always, their show is pretty much awesome every time. Even their worst shows are not that bad, so come on. We're definitely going to go hang out there. Oh, good Lord, Boris. Alright, well, I guess it's lunchtime for you. Get some lunch. Be ready for hanging out with your friends. True, Odie. What George Burns said was true. So, alright. I'm getting out of here. Ladies, gentlemen, y'all have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And, well, you know, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'll see you probably on Steve and Kathy's here in, well, a while. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.